for the pampered to the abused. This door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. I must recognize there's the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or true, this door is open to you.
How good it is to be here in this moment, to recognize the presence of the divine here and now, to know that God is love, harmony and peace and joy, that we are, each one of us, is this beautiful manifestation of the divine. That I am one with it. I am one with the universe, and the universe is one with me. In this oneness, there's no time, no space, no beginning, no end. It just is, and I am. I am this beautiful manifestation, individualization of God. As this is true for me, it is for each one here present, and to those that hear my voice. So I bless this morning, I bless the service, the music. I bless the beginning of this day, knowing who truly we are, and I just allow it to be. And so it is. So it is.
And some love for Sylvia Uribe, our practitioner today. Thank you for the invitation this morning. And some love to Randy MC, helping us up so wonderfully this morning. And I'd like to welcome you all. I'm Rev Katherine Economou, and it's my joy to welcome you here to the Center for Spiritual Living on our Sunday celebration. Welcoming everybody who's in the room and everyone who's online. We are one big family spread out all over the place, and so we just reach out our arms in a virtual embrace, whether you're here or there or wherever, knowing that right where you are, the love of God is. And so we are so grateful to be here to acknowledge this and to celebrate together today. This is one of our favorite days of the year. Traditionally, Beth Haas's Vision Board Workshop has been one of the best things that we've offered here at Center for Spiritual Living. And over the years, people come back through the year and tell me, they bring their vision boards back in and say, look, it works. It really works. And whether it's the fact that you take a picture and you put it on a piece of paper and you tell your subconscious that you'd like to experience it, or if it's just the energy of life guiding you to move to opening and accepting more, I don't care how it works. I just love that we are immersed in life fully, right? And that we're open to experiencing all the joy and delight that the year could have for us. And I don't know about you, but I'm ready for a delightful year. Are you? Yes, that's what we're trying to create. So I'm hoping that everyone who's here is going to stay after service and participate in our workshop today. But with that, I think we've got a song. We do. Sure do.
All right, if you'd all like to stand together, we'll sing together, I Trust in God. The words should be up on the screen for you. Here we go. I'm thankful, so grateful, I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful, I trust in God. I'm happy, so happy, I'm one with the Spirit all around me.
hold on one second. Just hold on one second. I'll tell you when to do it. All right, so we are, this is our moment of gratitude. And this month, we've just started, February is Black History Month. And our Diversity and Inclusion Committee is committed to honoring and acknowledging all of these experiences during the year to bring to our attention, as you know, if you've been here for this last 6 months, we've put a lot of time and effort in wanting to be a space that is as welcoming as we say we are, and is committed to diversity and understanding as much as we say we are. And so we've done a lot of work on that. So this year we're going to be honoring these different holidays and these months and ways of just awakening in a new way. So one of the things that we're going to, in Black History Month, we're going to do it with a little bit of music. We're going to do it in a couple of different ways. But what I came across this week was really moving, and we decided that we would do our moment of gratitude with this today. We're going to show a video here. And these are children reciting Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. And so, Ignacio, if you can move it. And then hit it, and it should start. There you go.
Even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow,
I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
That all men are created equal.
I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slaves owners will be able to sit together at the table of brotherhood.
I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice,
Sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice.
I have a dream that little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged
By the color of their skin,
by the content of their character.
I have a dream today. I have a dream that
One day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and little black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls
as sisters and brothers.
I have a dream today.
This is our hope. This is the faith I go back to the mountain with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we'll be able to transform the genuine discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together,
Pray together, to struggle together,
go to jail together, to stand up for freedom forever.
knowing that we will be free one day.
And I say to you today, my friends, let freedom ring.
From the contiguous hilltops of New Hampshire,
Let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York,
let freedom ring. From the mighty Alleghenies of Pennsylvania,
let freedom ring.
from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado,
Let freedom ring from the Carpacious slopes of California. But not only there, let freedom ring from the Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain in Tennessee.
let freedom ring for every hill and molehill in Mississippi.
From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
When we let it rain from every village and hamlet, every state, every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black man and white man,
Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics,
will be able to join hands and sing, in the words of the old Negro spiritual.
free at last.
Free at last.
Thank God Almighty, we're free at last.
All right, so just taking a breath and turning within. And so for our moment of gratitude today, just realizing this beautiful vision that was set so long ago. And we stand here as the demonstration, the manifestation, the answer to that prayer that has gotten us to this moment. But let us move into that place of the vision once again to realize that we still have a ways to go. But it is now us, our our minds, our hearts, our consciousness, as we open to allow that vision, standing hand in hand together, all people in peace and in harmony, realizing that that's ours. And so let us step from this day committed once again to support creating a world that works for all. And so it is. So I'll invite Sylvia to come on back up for our reading for today.
Our spiritual reading today comes from our book for February, The Radical Forgiveness by Colin Tipping. Looked at from a spiritual standpoint, our discomfort in any given situation provides a signal that we are out of alignment with the spiritual law and are being given an opportunity to heal something. It may be some original pain or perhaps a toxic belief that has stopped us from becoming our true selves. We don't often see it from this perspective, however. Rather, we judge the situation and blame others for what is happening, which prevents us from seeing the message or understanding the lesson. This prevents us from healing. If we don't heal whatever needs to be healed, we must create more discomfort until we are literally forced to ask, what is going on here? Sometimes the message has to become very loud, or the pain extremely intense before we pay attention. A life-threatening illness, for example, provides a loud message. Yet, even when facing death, some people don't get the connection between what is happening in their lives and the opportunity for healing that it provides. The willingness to see the situation differently is the key to your healing. 90% of the healing occurs when you become willing to let in the idea that your soul has lovingly created this situation for you. In becoming willingly, you let go of control and surrender it to God. He takes care of the other 10%. If you can really understand at a deep level and surrender to the idea that God will handle this for you if you turn it over to Him, you won't need to do anything at all. The situation and your healing will both get handled automatically. And so it is.
Fly away so fast, no more reason to cover up the past, 'cause I know who you are underneath, and I accept it all, even when you don't answer my call, 'cause I've been by you all along. There's something in your eyes that shows me, something in your eyes, you know, something in your eyes that comforts me and gives me something to believe in. There's something in your eyes that shows me, something in your eyes, you know, something in your eyes understanding. You will always land inside my arms, cradling you as we sail through the stars. There's something in your eyes that shows me, something in your eyes, you know, something in your eyes that comforts me and gives me something to believe in. There's something in your eyes that shows me, something in your eyes, you know, something in your eyes that comforts me and gives me something to believe in. Lean on me, lean on me, lean on me when you're fast asleep. Lean on me, lean on me, lean on me when you're half asleep. There's something in your eyes that shows me, something in your eyes, you know, something in your eyes that comforts me and gives me something to believe in. There's something in your eyes that shows me, something in your eyes that comforts me and gives me something to believe in.
And I believe that's a Randy MC original, correct?
Yes, it is.
It is. Let's give it up for Randy MC. So, I wanted to just have a quick chat real quick about our book for the month. So this year, we're doing it a little bit differently than the last couple of years. Last year the last couple of years we had a book that we talked through the whole year, right? We used it for the whole year. But this year, we're doing it a little bit differently because I'm following the program that the Centers for Spiritual Living, our parent organization, has put out. They have a book for each month. So we're going back to a book of the month club, right? Anybody remember that from the good old days? All right, so I was a record of the month girl. Do you remember filling those things out for a penny? You could get all those. That was so awesome, and they let me do that, and then I got in big trouble. But because I never paid for it. So anyways, we're going to do a book a month. So this month is Radical Forgiveness by Colin Tipping. I have a couple. We've got about 5 copies in the bookstore. If you'd like it, you know. Forgiveness is going to be the underlying foundation story that we talk about this month. We're not going to hit it overtly every week, but it's really what's going to support us as we do our spiritual work this month, and this book will help you with that. So I can't believe we're already starting our second month. I can't believe time's rolling already. I'm trying to slow that wheel of time down just a little bit here, but I'm excited that we're moving forward in this theme. As you know, if you've been here, I've been talking about our theme for the year is Everyday Wonder. And what we're doing this month is we're looking at everyday wonder through the eyes of the inner world, our inner life. And that's why forgiveness, when we start to look within, that's why forgiveness is really going to support us. Forgiveness is really going to be helpful for us, because when you start to look in, the first thing you do is you face yourself. And when we face ourselves, sometimes that's not the most comfortable place to be, looking in that mirror of the things that we don't appreciate or like about ourselves, or the things that we judge harshly about ourselves. So having that sense of forgiveness is going to help be with ourselves. Also, when we start to look within, we start to figure out our emotions and why we got to where we got to. And so maybe there's some experiences that you've had and some interactions and relationships, or some old hurts and wounds that are sitting right there that you've just kind of let moss over, because you just don't want to have to deal with it. Well, we got to deal with it, and there's some pain for that, And so forgiveness, to forgive others for the experience that you've had, that would be helpful too. So that's part of the reason why we're working forgiveness this month. So there's a story of two young kids, Bobby and Joey, and those rambunctious little ones. They were wild, and their mother, a young mother, was at her wit's end. She didn't know what to do with these kids who wouldn't listen, and they were acting out and all this craziness. And so she was, in her desperation, she took them to the church. She took them to the priest to have a talk with him. And the first thing that the priest did was he separated them, divide and conquer. And so he separated them. And he went in and he said to the younger one, Joey, what did I call them? Joey and Bobby. Bobby was the younger one. He goes in and he says to Bobby, he said, Bobby, where is God? And Bobby's like, what? And the priest goes, where is God, Bobby? Where is God? And he goes, I don't know. And after a couple of minutes, the priest is glaring at him. He sends him out. Go, just go, get out of my face, go. So he goes and he sits outside. And then he goes into his bigger brother's Joey. Right? Joey's the bigger brother. Joey, where is God? And Joey's like, huh? And he goes, where is God? And he goes, did he go on a trip? I don't know. And the priest gets really flustered and mad at him. He says, get out of here, just go, you boys, just go. And he goes out to his little brother, and Bobby goes to Joey, Joey, what's going on? I don't understand. And he goes, I don't know, we got to get out of here because God's missing and they think we had something to do with it. They ran, right? Socrates said, an unexamined life is not worth living. The idea this month is to get clear about who we are and why we're here, to remember that. And because when we understand that, most everything in our life starts to unfold a little more smoothly. When you can catch the vision for your lives, when you catch the vision for your year, for a project even, for your year, for this chapter of your life, when you start to catch a vision, a bigger picture of what's possible for you, or what you think might bring you great joy, when you catch that vision, everything starts to move in that direction. People start to come into your life that has information for you that you never would have thought. There's more opportunity and possibilities that kind of show up. Those synchronicities happen when we are in that divine flow. And we're in that divine flow when we connect to our true nature, when we connect to the fact that we are divine beings. When we're not clear about who we are and why we're here and what's going on in our world, when we're not clear about it, what happens? It's when chaos shows up. We start to wander, or we get a little twirly, or we get in a really deep rut, and then it just, everything feels heavy, and there's not a lot of light. There's a lot of drudgery, right? We get in those moments too, where life just feels like it's hard and it's difficult, and why am I dragging this huge life behind me? I can't get anywhere. It's because we've lost our connection. You can never lose the connection. You forget that you have a connection, that there's something else there for you. There's a Chinese proverb that goes, when the eye is not blocked, the result is vision. When the mind is not blocked, the result is wisdom. When the spirit is not blocked, the result is love. So this is what I want to remind you. You are clothed in a body, and you have a personality. But you are so much more than that. You are intimately connected to God, that divine presence. We are each a divine emanation. It's your true nature. And that divinity is a source of all of your power, of your creativity, of your compassion, all of those amazing things that you want to experience and express. Who you want to be in the world is connected to your divine nature. And we have to nurture that and care for that and honor that and celebrate that. So my talk today is God in me, as me, is me. God in me, as me, is me. We are each divine beings who have come to work on our consciousness, to remember who we are, and to express that in the world. And for this, we've put on this flesh suit, right? And we function on the plane of existence here. Every year at the beginning of the year, I like to go back to basics. We used to do it in the sermons through January. We would do the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind. And we're not doing that this year overtly, but I am going back to basics. It's always important when things get complicated and complex, when life starts to kind of twirl out of control, the best thing to do is to pause and to go back to the foundation of what you know for sure. And so today, we're going back to that foundation of what we know for sure, and I'm talking about God. Because here in Science of Mind and religious science, we have a foundational belief that there's only one thing. That presence, that essence, that spirit, whatever you want to call it, we call it God. God is not a person. It's not that Santa Claus God sitting up on a cloud who's giving favor as it sees fit, that fickle, moody God that throws lightning bolts when it feels like it and maybe answer a prayer if you're, good enough. No, that's an image that we don't work with. That's not, that's not our understanding of the divine presence. The divine presence is a principle, and this is hard for us to understand because the divine presence is a principle, it's not a person. Divine presence is livingness, it's life itself, it's that life, that power of life that's going to push up the cement to allow that grass seed to come through, right? The dandelion that comes up through the cement. That's the power of the divine life. It will not be expressed. That's the power that sits right at the center of you. You were created out of that. You were part of that divine creation. God is all there is. And if you've been in any class from foundations through ministerial training and anything in between, you have had a test where someone asks you a question and the answer is God is all there is, right? In the old days when I went through classes, we actually had to take tests. I remember sitting down at a desk taking a test in foundations. They gave me the paper, I had to write it out. I was scared to, I have to take a test? This is church, I don't have to take a test, I did. So, but that was one of the questions. And then in each subsequent class, I had to take a test, and every class, there was this question about God. God is all there is the answer. I kept writing it. From the time I was in foundations till my last exam, my cumulative capstone exams, I had to write it. But we had this joke going that, and it has perpetuated itself through the years, because the big test that we take is when you become a practitioner, and you take your licensing exam, because it's a big deal. It's an actual license. You are a licensed spiritual counselor when you become a practitioner, and so it's a licensing exam. It's a big deal. It's a thing. You have to sit for it. And so there was a prac class back in the day who all decided they were going to walk in, and they wrote "God is all there is" on the top of their test, and they walked out. And they were like, what you going to do with that? And I remember going being stuck in the middle of this. What are we going to do, right? Because it's true. But we need to know. Come on, guys. We need to know that you know the rest of the 43 questions that are on the exam. That the answer is not God is all there is. But they made a good case that could be the answer to that. So, now. God is all there is. Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, said, "We believe that spirit is embodied in everyone, and that we are all embodiments of the one spirit." So we believe that there's only one essence and presence. It is that motivation. God's motivation is love, and its creativity is perfection and action. And it's a contradiction, right? Because if there's one presence and it's this infinite, immense essence, right, that goes on to infinity, and we're all part of that, the contradiction is it's the most intimate connection that you have also. It loves you and knows you so intimately, so completely. So that's the contradiction of it, because it is, when you connect into that feeling of the divine, there's this space, there's this expansion, there's this breath. Yes? Yes? Yes. But also at the same time, when you are at your lowest and there's some divine comforting hand that shows up for you, that it loves you so much that it's got you. If we can allow it in. If we can allow ourselves to be loved by God. It knows what you need before you need it. It's there for you. And if we can move into that space where we start to have this dynamic relationship with God, we move into that river of life and just flow forward. But then we doubt a little bit, and there's a rock that hits us in the butt while we're floating down the river. There's our doubts, there's our worries, there's our fears, there's our old baggage, and then all of a sudden we're back in the rapids and we get popped out of the river. It's our faith and our understanding of who we are and how God operates. And when we start to allow that relationship, in February we're here in the month of love, the month of relationships, and the biggest one we need to work on is with ourselves and our relationship with God. It was funny, I was with my daughter and her friends yesterday. They another dance weekend, dance auditions and all this crazy stuff. And we were driving in a car. There were 6 of us in the car, and one of the they're all 8th graders and 9th graders, and one of the girls says from the back, "Oh, Valentine's Day is next week. We have that off of school, right?" I was like, no. You have to go to school on that day. But when I thought about it, I was like, I'd much rather give them the holiday for love, than I don't know, some other things, but I won't go there. So it's a perfect time to work on our relationships. It's a perfect time to work on our relationship with ourselves. It's a perfect time this month to work on our relationship with the divine. The Bible teaches us that we were made in the image and likeness of God. But what's happened is that we as people have kind of reversed that and gotten all screwed up in our heads and made God in the image and likeness of us. So that picture of that fickle, cranky, moody, divine presence, right? Most of us, so we've limited God. Because if we've fashioned God after ourselves and not the other way around, God turns out to be fickle, moody, wishy-washy, big ball of stress. Maybe that's just my God, but it's the other way around. God is infinite, and so are you. God is all-powerful, and so are you. God is infinitely creative with new ideas, new opportunities, new possibilities, and that sits around you, right where you are. They all live in you, but what we need to do is most of us walk around not honoring that part of ourselves, but denying it. Not cultivating it and connecting to it, but like plugging in when it's convenient and then kind of putting it on the shelf around the corner. We are really being called to live this. And when we live this, when we daily connect to this truth, things start to shift. So as you walk the spiritual path and acknowledge your divine nature, what happens is your self-esteem rises, right? How you hold yourself, how you carry yourself, what you believe about what's possible and what you're capable of. You hold yourself in a different light. And that light, that energy, shifts how people react to you. And so that's why life starts to shift and it starts to feel better and differently. It's because you're treating yourself differently, you're holding yourself differently, you're caring for yourself differently. Jesus taught that you'll know the truth and the truth will set you free. And since this year I've added, it'll piss you off first, but it will set you free. It does, and it just does make you mad first. But the truth is that God is love. God is in you and as you. Therefore, love is in you. Right? And it's all that really exists. It's a divine energy that begins in God and has no end. And that love is that healing aspect that we're talking about that's going to make a difference for us. That's going to allow us to see things differently and to move in a new direction. But we need to love ourselves as we would love God. So that's the hard part, right? Sometimes it's so much easier to show love to our beloveds, to the ones that we travel with, because we're attracted to, we want to be with them, and we want to love them, and it's so much easier. And then you look in the mirror, and it's really hard to do it. Because we are all human, and we have all made mistakes, and we've all said stupid things or put our foot in our mouth multiple times. We've all gotten confused, and we've all done things that maybe we wouldn't want to, or we wouldn't right now. But when that happens, what happens in your inner world, in your inner life? Can you do a little bit of, that was really hard, you did the best you could. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Or is it that inner critic that just starts screaming at you, berating you, all the things it thinks about you? And again, you did this again, and I can't believe you're so, right? The voice in the head can be relentless. We want that inner critic to take a vacation. We want to send it off to Hawaii so it can be happy there. Because what's being called for now is a lot of compassion, some self-compassion. And again, we're living in a time and in a moment when the general stress and energy and chaos in the world is higher than what's been normalized for us for the last number of years. And so it's harder now to even just go through your life in a regular way, dealing with the day-to-day stresses. That stuff's weighing on us more. And so what's being called for is a deeper spiritual practice, a more expanded spiritual practice. And we are going to start by loving ourselves. I want you to love yourself as you would love God. One of the best things we can do to honor and love God is to take care of ourselves, to love ourselves, because when you love ourselves, you are honoring that divine creation. You are the divine creation and deserve all the love and compassion and peace that is available. So what happens is when we love ourselves, when we do a little bit of self-soothing, when we do a little bit of cheerleading for ourselves, we elevate our consciousness. It just shifts, it takes a step, it moves, it expands, and we open in a new way. Again, Jesus said, by the fruits you will know them. So I think it's time for us to link all these images that we have. I've been doing a lot of computer things lately, like how you link something, an image to a message, to something else, to a video and all that. So I think what we need to do is we need to link all these things in our consciousness. You are a divine emanation, so you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be loved just because of who you are, not anything that you do. And what you do in the world is your expression of the divine. So there you are, back to God. And so there's this circle of appreciation and allowing. And if something happens in a day and you don't, show up the way you want to, or something foolish happens, or whatever, you make a mistake, or you're human. Hello, we're human in one day, which we're human in every day. Can you be a little bit more compassionate with yourself? Because that's your job. It's my job too, as your minister, but it's your job on a daily basis to support yourself. Because when you support yourself, then you become a beacon of light for other people, for the people who are around you. You start to express your authentic self. So I've started a new spiritual practice, and it kind of came up. I was doing some sessions with people at the beginning of the month, and it just kind of showed up, and then I started doing it, and then I'm realizing that I think it's something that we could all do. So I have a new spiritual practice for you. It's a very challenging, difficult one that's going to take you hours. No, it's going to take 2 minutes. When you first wake up, every morning, what I want you to do, and I do this now, is when I first wake up, as soon as my eyes open up, I sit up in bed. I sit up in bed. One hand on your heart, one hand on your hara and your center. Okay? I'm going to invite you to do it. You can sit up, everybody sit up straight, a little straighter in your chair. I know you're all slumping, get comfortable listening to me. So we're going to sit up. All right, close your eyes, hand on your heart, hand on your belly. This is, your power center here in your heart. It's the center of your love. Take a nice, full, deep breath. And I want you to give yourself a little bit of a word of encouragement on this day. We're going to start this day in love. You are a divine emanation of God. And the Infinite One guides and supports this day and allows all to unfold in grace and in love and light. You can do this. You got it. And another breath. And there you go. It's a hard one, right? It's really painful and difficult, right? I don't want to minimize it, because even just taking one moment of acknowledgement for yourself, 1 moment, that was not even a whole minute and a half. Taking that will shift the way that you hold yourself. It will shift the way that you connect to the fullness of who you are, and it'll shift the way that your day unfolds. So I would love for us to adopt this for this month, to do this practice every day. Because I want you to realize how supported you are, how loved you are. Because when you do that, when you start to realize that I'm supported, when I start to realize that I'm loved, then I'm walking around this world not at the effect of the world, not at the effect of what's happening out in the world from in the country or the pandemic or with all the different things, the economy, all that stuff. Like, none of that will affect you. You are at cause in creating in your life. You rise above the law of averages. You rise above about what's just happening out in the world. And you become a beacon of light. You become a creator. You support pathways not only for yourself, but for other people. Because you know what's possible. Because as we know, with God, all things are possible. And so this month, let's make it all possible by realizing God is me, as me, through me, as me, is me, because it's you. And so it is. Whatever it is, it's you. And so it is. So let's invite Randy back.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Oh, holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy.
service when we have the opportunity to participate in sacred giving. I'm going to invite our ushers to come forward and say thank you to all of our volunteers who all step in such amazing ways for us on Sunday mornings. Now, thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's participating and giving and supporting the operation of our community here. We are so grateful and just moving forward, figuring out who we are and what's coming next. And so more information to come about that. But at this point, I'm going to invite you to take your offering and place it upon your heart and let us breathe our light and our love into it here, knowing that this is a gift that has come to each of us from that infinite divine flow of the universe. And it is a statement of belief that we know that we are part of this divine flow, opening that channel, that we are sourced and supported from on high as this gift moves forth to support that divine idea of CSL TV being a beacon of light, of love, and of hope for those here in the valley. And so we bless this offering and know that it goes forth to multiply, to expand, and to support this light shining brightly. And so it is.
And so it is.
And so I believe, is it up? Yeah, okay, so together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Yes.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, love gives me everything I need.
All right, so I have some announcements. Oh, I gotta go back on because I was singing. I have some announcements. I want to remind you our book study, our Science of Mind book study that Julie Mims, practitioners Julie Mims and Ann Woodward are leading, happens on Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Zoom. And so you could contact one of them. They're reading The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Our men's ministry is meeting on Wednesdays every week, still Reverend Michael Summers, both in person and on Zoom. And our Sisters in Spirit group meets the third Thursday of the month at Journeys. Our community connection is happening with me on Wednesday evenings at 7 o'clock. That's a really fun time. Sometimes there's 5 of us, sometimes there's 10 of us, sometimes there's 1 and me. And so it's really fun. We have great conversations and you know, I come up with different processes. We do, you know, it's just a fun time of connecting, of sharing, and of being together. So you're invited to join us for that. The Gifts of Spirit meeting, monthly meeting for February is this Tuesday. Yes, this coming Tuesday. Ann Woodward, you want to contact her for more information. And they're starting to talk about an offering that they'd like to give, expressing their talents in the spring. We are about to start our third week, right, of the Cultivating Abundance process. So we are doing the Abundance book. And every day, Monday through Friday at 7:30, I get on Zoom and lead the practice for 15 minutes, which is kind of a miracle. But it's been really great. It's really wonderful. I'm loving doing it. And it's not too late to join us. It's a 40-day process, but you can jump in with us at any time you want, and you would just continue on, you know, from there. So it's you just need to email me, and I can send you the link to join us. And my email is revkatherine@csltv.org. And again, it's a really easy thing. We get on at 7:30. We do there's an affirmation for each day, and we just do a centering, a little meditation with that, and I do a prayer, and then we go and have our day. It's really wonderful. So today is our Vision Board Workshop with Beth Haas. It's slated to start at noon, and they are going to do some turnover. Everybody's always invited for snacks and coffee in the social hall after service. We really encourage it. And today they may just move you over to a side or out because they want to be set up to be able to start the workshop by noon. So everybody's invited to join us and to stay for it. They've got all the supplies you need. It's going to be a great workshop. So, I got 2 more things. Sorry, there's a lot. It's exciting that there's a lot. We are still participating in the Super Bowl, S-O-U-P-E-R Bowl. And so Super Bowl is next week, and our Super Bowl ends next week. And so we've been trying to collect as many cans as possible of soup and stew to donate to the Community Mission of Hope, our local food pantry here, because we know that January, after the holidays, it's the lowest inventory in food banks in the year, and we really want to, and it's the winter and it's the hard month, so we want to support our local food bank. So we're trying to collect 2,000 cans. I'm not sure if we're that close to that this year, but let's see what we can do and celebrate that next week. Because celebrate the Super Bowl with donating soup. And then the last thing I've got is that I'm offering a 3-week class online via Zoom called Back to Basics, a Spiritual Reset for Your Life. And again, it's that beginning of the year, going back to the basics, doing a foundational level thing. What we're going to do is we're going to look at setting an intention for the year, looking at get clear on your goal, do a little bit of visioning, and put some things into place to support you in having a simple, personal, spiritual practice that's going to support you in this time. And so I'm really excited about it. I'm pulling out all my good processes, all my best things, and putting them together so that we can just find a couple of ways to just connect in a new way for each of us and get moving again forward. It's such a great time to go back and revisit some things. And so I'm doing this as a gift. It's a love offering. It's all online. 3 Tuesdays, Tuesday, February 15th, the 22nd, and March 1st from 6 to 8:30 p.m. You can sign up outside. And with that, the last thing I have is we have a little bit of an announcement and an honoring. As many of you may realize, if you've heard over the time, we knew that we were going to have Randy with us for us just a period of time, because he has a wandering soul and an adventurous spirit. And so today's our last day with Randy. I know, we love him, but he's going on this amazing adventure. He's taken off like next week, right? And he's getting in the car and he's driving east. Go east, young man, go east. He's heading towards the goal is New Orleans. We can see him there, right? We can see him in New Orleans, yeah. So, Randy, what we want to tell you is that we've loved having you. We've loved having you be part of our community. You've brought so much to the music as we've been getting back up and running, and you've brought so much to this, and we're so grateful. So we have a little gift for you and a card with our love, and we just, the best part is that, social media, so we're not going to lose you. You're still going to be part of our extended family, just from afar. So thank you so much. You can say something.
I would just like to say thank you and the leadership for this community, because I felt the most at home here of all the church.
Oh.
Thank you for being a part of this community, everyone.
We love you.
We love you. We love
I
you.
love all of you too.
Oh. And so let's come together in consciousness here and do our prayer. We'll pray. We'll bless Randy on his adventure. And just know God here in this moment. For it is everywhere present. We stand here on sacred ground, as we always do. For that infinite, divine creator of all things is ever present, and it is here in this moment, in this breath, within each of us. Sourcing, supporting, loving, guiding, from that infinite knowing, from that one mind and that one heart. And so let us on this day break down any barrier to full immersion as that divine source. Let us allow the love that is that impetus for all creation, that divine spark that sits at the center of our being, to guide this moment and this week for each of us. Let us step out in love, in compassion, and in peace, seeing and knowing God all around us. And in that celebration and in that acknowledgement and in that honoring, it expands, it glows brighter, it brings more understanding and a deeper connection to life, to that awe, to that wonder, to the amazing blessings and gifts that abound around us. And so I bless this day. I bless this spiritual community and the love that is alive here. I bless our beloved Randy and know that he goes forth supported, loved, and inspired by the divine itself. And I know for each of us, as we turn within this month and are present with this inner life, I know that deep, deep love of God that created us guides us in this time of letting go of our judgments and embracing our wholeness and living from that place of truth, connection, and light. And so with a grateful heart to see it and know it, not only for myself, but for all, I bless this day, I celebrate it, and know that it unfolds in the grace of the one. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Let's hear you now. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for
And this week, God in me, as me, is me, and all unfolds with ease. And so it is.
So it is.
All right.
So have a great day.